Hello and welcome back to Lore Dynamic Plays Baldur's Gate 3. I'm your host Lore Fenton. In this Baldur's Gate 3 build video, we're building up the Pure Fighter Arcane Archer build. As always, everyone like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more Baldur's Gate 3 builds like this. Do not forget to hit that notification bell so be updated much more. The Arcane Archer is back, and it's back in style in Baldur's Gate 3. So here's the pros and cons of this build. You have arcane shots. Many of them are very good, from exploding shots to, of course, making a foe be banished for 2 rounds, and other nasty shots you could do against them. Your range attacks with this build is going to be godly. Oh yeah, so you can be one of those range masters there. Another thing as well, because you're a fighter, you get the feats of it, including a lot of feats. Instead of your normal 3, you get 4. And another thing that is good with the Arcane Archer is that yeah, you can still use those nice arrows and have good times with those. Now, con this build, your melee attacks are going to be like so, number 1. And number 2, if you ran out of arcane charges, yeah, you're going to have to improvise with your regular bow shots. Or say crossbow shots, wherever you use. So I'm going to go ahead at this time, do the character creation process, and let's do that. As always, before I go over the races, I'm going to go ahead and go over the origins. Your custom origins will be good for this. Astarion and Lae'zel will be good for different reasons. Astarion can focus more on the range aspect. Lae'zel, for once, can focus on the range aspect too. It depends on if you want one or the other to do that. Some people like play Lae'zel more as a range, others like Astarion. Now, the Dark Urge will actually be good for this as well. It's another branch of the story. Yeah. It's fighting a darkness. So that's another reason as well too, but up to you on your origins. So I'm going to suggest the races. This is just suggestions. You could become any race or sub races for this, but I'm going to go ahead first. Let me change to a fighter. Make things much more easier. And there we go. So let's go ahead and start the races actually. Always get the origins out of the way first. Now for elves, you get 9 meters per turn for movement. So that is good. Now, another thing that the elves get is for proficiency in long swords, short bows, and long bows. You get proficiency in those anyways, but it's nice. Dark vision, you see up to 12 meters in the dark, which is good. So you see in caves, dungeons, or anything else that's dark, and so DC. Fate accessory, this does is give you saving throws against charm and cannot be magically put to sleep. You still drink that potion to put you to sleep. That gives you like a long rest and recharge your spells and such. For high elves, you get a free level 0 spell to pick. Now, pick whatever one you feel good on picking. It's up to you on that. As for wood elves, they get movement speed of 1.5 more. So instead of 9 meters, you get 10.5 meters. That means you move much more than everybody else. That's a good thing. You want to be mobile for this build. For tieflings, here's the deal. You get 9 meters per turn, which is good. That's very nice indeed. Also, tieflings do get dark vision. Yeah, they get to see in the dark. 12 meters, but still, it's good for that. And they get hellish resistance, so they have resistance to fire damage. If they take fire damage, that gets cut in half. Very good early on, since there's a lot of fire in there, and later on there's some foes as well too. Modis tieflings, that's more of the spellcasting aspect, which is good. This is more of the melee. So, yeah, if you want to go for that. Also, Melistopheles is nice as well if you want to go for that as well, too. Now, next up is the Drow race. You see why I'm going to pick this one. First of all, they get some nice level 0 spells, other spells, including Darkness, but Dancing Light is nice as well. It just illuminates the area for 9 meters. Base racial speed, you can move 9 meters per turn, just like your elven cousins, and up in the surface. They get Drow weapon training, so there's rapiers, short swords, and hand crossbows. Those are OP. Superior dark vision. They see up to 24 meters in the dark. Much more than the other elven races and such, which is nice. Also, they get the same resistance as well, so they have advantage on saving throws against being charmed and cannot be magically put to sleep. You can still be put to sleep naturally with that nice potion that'll give you full rest. Yeah. Humans, here we go. Their base racial speed is 9 meters per turn, which is good. And they also use militia weapons and armor. So that is spears, pikes, halberds, and glaives. Armor proficiency includes light armor and shields. You're not going to need a shield, but it's there. Human versatility, they get an extra skill, and they carry more of their weight, which is good. You carry a lot of things. You want a human to be a pack mule. Just saying. Now you get to pick any skill what you want for the 5th one. Normally you get 2 for your background, 2 you select. More depends on what class and race combination. So you can be more perceptive. You could do anything else like that for a human. Next up is the Get Yankee. Underdog race, but they got some good things. Yeah, let me make sure I make it a female for Lae'zel. Astral knowledge. Gain proficiency of a skill of a chosen ability score. Like, for example, you want more knowledge than Dex or something like that. They start off with Mage Hands. That means you grab something from afar. Later on, they get Misty Step. It's like a teleportation spell. That's very useful for this build. You see it towards the end of the video why. Now, base racial speed. That is 9 meters per turn, just like the elves, tieflings, drow, and humans. Also, they get martial prodigy, which means they get to use light and medium armor and all types of swords. Yeah, swords, not words. Now, let's go to the dwarves. They move 7.5 meters per turn. That's less than the big races, but hey, their size, they're awesome still. So let's go over the weapons. They basically use hammers and axes. So that's good, except for 2-handed axes and 2-handed hammers. Hammers, of course, but that's all right. They also get is dark vision, see 12 meters in the dark, which is very good. And in other words, you're going in a dungeon that's so dark, yeah, that's great. Dwarven resistance. And this does give you advantage on saving throws against poison, and if you get poison, you take less damage than the other races. Go dwarves, you get 1 hit point to start with, and 11 more hit points. That's 1 per level, so that's 12 extra hit points. That is very good for this build, by the way. Grey dwarves, the Dryger, they get superior dark vision as 24 meters in the dark. They see much more than the other races, just like the Drow. And the resistance is advantage on saving throws against illusions and against being charmed and paralyzed. That's very good for this build because you want to be mobile. You don't want to be charmed or anything like that. So you want to do action, not being stuck. Or say, hold down. Half-elves, they get a movement speed of 9 meters per turn, which is nice indeed. They get their human size, so they get the spears, pikes, halberds, glaives, use light armor and shields. If they're not proficient, they are now. On their elven side, they get 12 meters they can see in the dark. Also on their elven side as well, too, they have resistance against being charmed and cannot be magically put to sleep. Yeah, just like the other thing I mentioned. I'm not going to say it again. So there are 3 flavors for that. So for half-elves, yeah, let me go ahead and do that. The high half-elf, they get extra level 0 spell to pick from, which is good. Wood half-elves, they get a 1.5 movement speed more, so it's 10.5 now. That's nice. And as for the drows, they get some spells. They get to pick, like, for example, Dancing Light. Put that there, illuminate an area. Useful in some areas. Last but not least is the half-orc race. So let's go over that. They get 9 meters per turn for movement, which is good. They have 12 meters they can see in the dark because of dark vision. Bring them in a cave or something, they can see. Relentless endurance. So if they get knocked down 0 hit points, they get back up. It's once per long rest, I heard. Savage attacks. Wherever you land a critical hit with a melee weapon attack, you deal the extra dice of damage. We're not using melee weapons, so that's a nice bonus. So that's about it. Now, what's in store for this class? Now, what is in store for you? You're a fighter. You get second wind that heals you to 11 hit points. Your fighting style is going to be archery, so you're going to be more of the range type, so that is a great ideal. You're going to be ranged, so that means you stand from afar and take out your foes from a long distance. Now, for backgrounds, I would say Soldier, that's a great one to have for this build. Another one, anything that's Dex-based or Outlander, that's good, like Criminal, Charlatan, or Entertainer. Up to you on that, but I like Athletics and Intimidation. Now, we're going to go ahead and do something different this time due to the fact that, yeah, Arcane Archers are totally different for their ability points. And it's not like a fighter or a paladin even. Yeah, you're different. So first of all, we're going to put Strength at 10. Yeah, it sounds weird for a fighter, but you know what? You're more building in a range. So for Dexterity, we're going to do 16 because besides Armor class and ranged weapons go off of Dexterity. So that's why we're doing it. That's going to be the #1 stat we're going to max out. Constitution 14, a little bit more hit points. Of course, a little bit less more than my other fire builds, but that's all right. Intelligence, we're going to go ahead and do at this very moment at 16. You're saying, why is that? Well, that helps our arcane archer spells and such like that. You know, those arrows. They go off of intelligence. Wisdom at 10, that's your average for story stuff. And our dump stats, charisma 8. Strength and wisdom 10, dexterity 16, constitution 14, and intelligence 16. As for skills, I'm picking acrobats because I felt like that's good for this build, which is real nice. And I decided to pick survival. That's the way to go. I could also do perception. That's better than survival. So this way we look around and see if there's anything out of the ordinary. And that's about it for the character creation. Hey, it's time to level up our Arcane Archer from level 2 to, you guessed it, 12. Ding, level 2. Now, here's the deal. We'll go ahead and get this. Action Surge. You gain an extra action when you use this during a turn. I think it's you get it back during short rest. Which, by the way, Action Surge is real nice as well, too. You can shoot something or do something else like that. Oh, yeah, by the way, ding, level 3. Now we get a racial ability. We get the psionic jump farther. It's going to be very useful for us. Now, here's an Arcane Archer. We gain a level 0 spell and also 3 arrows. We get Arcane Arrow. This is the number of arcane shots we get to have. Remember this. I decided to pick guys because the other two is meh. Now, this one's better. So this way, when you get into the talking mode or dialogue mode, you use that. I'm going to go over each shot. Bashing shot. So this will bash a target for 2 rounds. If they don't make a resistance. On miss, it does consume an arrow. This is like crowd control arrow. Very nice to have. Beguiling arrow. This will charm your foes for 2 rounds. So this way they don't attack you. And it's a nice another crowd control one. I prefer the first one better. Bursting arrow, exploding arrow. So it hits a bunch of foes around them, which is 2 to 12 force damage, which is a good thing. Enfeebling arrow. This will weaken your foes for 2 rounds. They also take that green damage. Grasping arrow, this does is slow their movement speed down, so this way you can shoot them much more. They'll be coming to you much more slower. This one, seeking arrow. This arrow will not miss, and also it'll also put fairy fire on your foes as well too. They get debuffs and such like that, and it's a bright light on them. Picking them, I'm saying go ahead and shoot them up or use spells against them. Shadow arrow. This does is will blind your foes for 2 rounds. Which is good, so it's one of those very nice arrows to have. Piercing arrows, you'll do extra piercing damage. So that's good. If they do succeed on saving throw, they don't get that extra piercing damage, but still, very nice arrow to have, though. So I'm going to go ahead and select this one first, the bursting arrow for a boom boom. Then last 2, because I felt like those are the best. You could change them up every time you level up, so definitely remember that. So let's go ahead and get to the next level. Ding, level 4. You can replace your arrow. See, you don't like the exploding one, you can put something else there. So let's see here. We get a feat. Every level to 4, you get yourself a feat. Except for 6, we'll explain about that. Sharpshooter. So first of all, ranged weapons, attacks are proficient with a -5 penalty to attack rolls. However, they deal 10 plus damage. Which is good, so it's a change off. Don't worry, there's an item that will negate that. Your range attacks do not have penalties from higher ground rules, so no more I have the high ground, you get a penalty. None of that nonsense. Now, ding, level 5! And we get an extra attack per round, so instead of 1 shot, we do 1 round, we get 2 shots. Ping 1 foe, then ping another, and that's it. They suffer. You smile, you have a good day. So that's about it for this level. Ding, level 6. We're halfway there, folks. You heard me right? And there you go. You change your arrows, and you get yourself another feat. So at level 6, you get a free feat. I'm going to put 2 points in the dexterity, because I'm going to get that quickly maxed out by level 8. So this way my range damage will be really up there. And there you go. So let's go ahead and finish this and move on. Ding, level 7, everyone. Yeah, I always do EverQuest dings. And oh, look at that. First, we get extra arcane arrow. That's good. And number 2, let's see what this one is. Now your arrows are treated like magic arrows. So if you have mundane bow, well, all of a sudden they're magical. So will come certain resistance, which is good. Curving shot. So when you when you, of course, miss with any magic arrow attacks, you get a bonus action to rectify that problem. In other words, you attack again. I'm going to go ahead and select where is this at. I think I'm going to get the seeking ones. In other words, I never miss. Those are good ones. Seeking arrows are always very nice at this level. And there you go. So let's get to the next level, shall we? Ding! Level 8. Every level's a 4, with exception of fighters who gets that 6. Gets another free feat. You can change your arrows out as well, too. We're going to do another ability improvement. We're going to max out dexterity, folks. That is right. We're going to max that sucker out. So there you go. So let's level up again. Ding, level 9. Yep. So let's see here. Well, we get fighter feat, which is indomitable. So this happens as whenever you fail a saving throw, you get to roll again, and you'll succeed this time. Good stuff. Ding, level 10. We're getting close to the cap already. And look at that. Look what we get. Another arcane arrow free to use and abuse. And we get to pick one more. I'm going to pick Banishing Arrow due to the fact that I can start using these arrows as crowd control. It'll help me out greatly. So that's why I say for later levels, because the foes later on are much more tougher. Early on, they're not tough, so you can quickly wipe them out. Later on, you got to be more strategic. Just trust me. Ding, level 11, and good news is we're getting close to the cap, which is 12. And look at this, everyone. We get another attack, improve extra attacks, so we get 2 extra attacks per round instead of just 1, so that's total 3. Our main hand weapon, of course, is a bow and arrow, so that's good. And here we go, everyone. Ding, level 12. We're at the cap, and we get ourselves a free feat. You can pick any what you want. You could do Savage Attack, but I prefer boosting up my ability score. This time it's going to be Intelligence, so this way my arrows will be less likely to resist. So put 2 points in Intelligence, and that should definitely do it. And next up is Permanent Ability Score boost, is what we're going to talk about. In Baldur's Gate 3, there are 3 chances to permanently boost your ability scores. So here we go. So in Act 1, if you spare Auntie Ethel, you get a +1 ability score item of your choice. You have to pass some dialogues in order to have that to happen. In other words, you have to drop underneath 10 hit points, then it'll all start. Avoid your paladin doing this if you can, because if you make a deal with Auntie Ethel, that might make you an Oathbreaker. That's a bad idea. We don't want to do that. In Act 2, with Astarion, have him by Aja Moonrise Towers. Yeah, reason being is if you let him bite her, and then she'll give you a +2 strength potion in return. Now, normally with my fire builds, I would definitely add that there in guides like this. However, due to the fact this is a dexterity build, so I'm going to skip it for now, but I'll point that there so you can give it to someone else in your party, like for example, Karlach, who's a barbarian, who should use that, or anybody else who's strength-based. The Act 3 Mirror Loss, yeah, that one. So it does the 3 following. You get +1 charisma if you pass a bonus check, and +2 stat of your choice. I'll explain about how that works next. Or second, you don't get the bonus round done, then it's just +2 stats. And the third one, if you decide either A, cheat the system, or B, miss the 2 intelligence checks, you get nothing, not a zilch. So that's about it for each of the acts on permanent ability scores. Let's go over in greater detail the Mirror of Loss and the House of Grief. Now, for the Mirror of Loss, after you pass 2 intelligence checks, I'm going to go over each of the 6. Don't pick number 7 for the lost part. Try to cheat the system. Shar will give you a middle finger and you get nothing. Number 1, that gives you +2 strength. Number 2, that is +2 dexterity. Number 3 is +2 charisma. Number 4 is +2 strength. And number 5 is +2 wisdom. And finally, number 6 is +2 charisma. Now, for this build, we're picking +2. So for the change off, I would do is something like -2. I'll probably say either strength or constitution. Now, here's a secret from me. I'm going to go ahead and whisper at this time. Now, for the stuff that you negatively lost after you picked a minus, guess what? I'm looking around. You get to you remove curse to remove the negative effects. So this way, you get the positive. You keep the positives, and that's it. Just remember for this build, +2 dexterity. This will get you over 20 if you do this at max level. So this is all cool. And there you go. That's about it for the Mirror Loss. I'm going to go over the before and after for the permanent ability score boosts. Now, here's the before for permanent stat boosts, as if you're level 12. You didn't do anything else bonus, like in each act, or use the items that were given in each act. Now, you get Strength 10, Dexterity 20, Constitution 14, Intelligence 18, Wisdom 10, and Charisma 8. Now, if you did all of that stuff I mentioned before, Mirror Loss, you name it, here we go. Strength at 10, Dexterity 22, Constitution 14, Intelligence 18, 19. If you spare Auntie Ethel, use the item for that instead. Wisdom 10 and Charisma 8. That's about it for this section. Next up, we're going to go ahead and talk about are the Tadpole Powers. I've decided to split this up into two sections for the Tadpole Powers, before the Astral Touch Tadpoles and after. I'm basing this on my fighter build, so yeah, it's basically a lot of kill this or do a lot of damage on that, etc. so forth. So let's start off with before you use the Astral Touch Tadpole. The first Tadpole power you want is Favorable Beginnings. Boost attack rolls, which will be really useful for this build, or give advantage in dialogues, which is useful too. This is great, so you use one or the other to help you out in combat, or I'll use a little bit of dialogue to help you out as well too. Call of the Week. When a creature has a few HP less than your Tadpole powers, it dies instantly. So for example, you have 10 Tadpole powers, and that goblin only has 3 HP left. Next attack, that's an instant kill. Psionic Backlash. When a foe casts a spell, you do 1d4 damage per caster level, and this levels up by the way. So if an annoying caster tries to attack you, you use this, they get hit, they get interrupted, and it's good times. Force Tunnel. Charge forward and draws no attack when you do this. This is absolutely great if you want to charge and then shoot and then run away, just to mess with your foes that way. Drain ability. An attack, you could either drain your strength on your foes, or dexterity for range at the first attack. Spells will also drain intelligence as well too. Very useful. We're going to be using the Dex one a lot. Just trust me. So let's go ahead and go for the after use the Astral Touch Tadpole. So you decide to use the Astral Touch Tadpole because you want free punch and pie. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Anyways, let's go on. Black Hole. OP AoE attack. It does a lot of damage, draws foes in, and it wrecks them. I used this at endgame, and believe me, wiped out a lot of foes that way. Fly. Just like the fly spell, you fly around. Great, so this way you get in a position, you have a higher ground, you shoot enemies, and that's it. Repulsor, AoE pushback attack. You push them back, you do damage as you do that as well too. Free cast. Next ability, spells, or anything else is free of charge to use. Like for example, your Arcane shots, you don't want to waste anymore. You want to use the Seeker arrow on that. Well, cast free cast and Seeker arrow, no charge at all. That's about it, of course, for Tadpole powers. Next up, we're going to go ahead and talk about, of course, is Gear of Ice. It's a little different this time with this build. In this section of the build, we're splitting up gear into two parts. Gear you want to get by in Act 1, that is before entering the Shadow Cursed Lands. Once you enter the Shadow Cursed Lands, you'll be in Act 2. And, of course, endgame gear. So those are two sections. Now, this will be different this time due to the fact that we're going to try not to have any heavy chest armor and such like that, because you're not getting any dexterity bonuses and such. So I'm going a little bit more rogue with the equipment, but you'll see why. Anyways, let's go ahead with gear you have to get by the end of Act 1 first. The first set of headgear you want is the Shadow of Mesobrazian. Gain the Shrouded in Shadows ability, same as the Visibility spell. Looted from the Pale Corpse in the Mitochondrial Colony in Act 1 in the Underdark. That's the Mushroom People. Must help out the Mushroom People have access to the body or slaughter the camp maybe. It depends on your alignment, but help them out if you're playing good or neutral. Here's the alternative. The Haste Helm gains momentum for 3 rounds. That means more movement speed. This is in a lock chest in the Blighted Village in Act 1. Let's move on to the next set of gear you want by the end of this act. For the chest gear, this is actually leather armor. You want this one, Spider Silk armor. You get advantage on Constitution saving throws, +1 to stealth checks. And Mithara drops this in the Shadow Sanctum in Act 1. You don't want to kill her, you just knock her out, A. Or B, better yet, turn her into a sheep, then loot the armor up after the battle's over. Here's a nice alternative to this one is Drow Studded Leather. This gives you +1 stealth. But again, this is basically for dexterity bonuses and such. This is a heavy chest near the Festering Cove entrance in the Underdark in Act 1. So loot that chest up. Let's move on to the next set of equipment. Now for gloves, you want gloves of archery. This is Coronian's Guiding Hand. You're able to use long and sharp bows. As a bonus, your ranged weapons will deal 2 additional damage. Real nice gloves. Get this when you go into the Goblin Camp and buy it from Grat the Trader. Now here's alternative gloves of dexterity. Dexterity set to 18, +1 attack. This is in Gith Yankee Crash. Merchant Jira sells this in Act 1. Buy before destroying her. So let's go over more Act 1 equipment. Now we're going to go over the boots. I feel like this is important. Disintegrating Nightwalkers cannot be enwebbed, entangle, or ensnare. Can't slip on grease or ice as well. You also gain Misty Steps spell, which acts like the spell exactly, teleport around. True Soul Neri drops this in the Grimforge Underdark area in Act 1. So if you try to find a way to kill him, you get this big time. Here's alternative Linebreaker Boots. Once per turn, when you dash, you gain Wrath for 2 rounds. Wrath is when you gain a +1 bonus to damage to melee weapons. I really did this for the athletics, but if you cannot find the Nightwalkers, you get something else like that. Above has a nice substitute until you get something better. This is in the Wog Pens in the Shatter Sanctum in Act 1, dropped by Beastmaster Zerk. Let's move on. For necklaces, you want Moondrop Pendant, so when the wearer has 50% hit points or less, they don't provoke attacks of opportunity. Now, this is real nice, so if you're a ranged character, you're in trouble. Yeah, it's a great way to avoid moving around foes and getting attacked if they try to buzz you. Solve the Saloon Night Magic Chest Puzzle in the Owlbear Cave in Act 1. Here's an alternative. Amulet of Misty Step. Gain Misty Step like the spell, you teleport around. This is in the Shatter Sanctum at True Source Guts Cores in Act 1. Good amulet to get. If you're siding with the goblins, try to steal it from this goblin. So let's see what's next. Now for rings, you want the Crusher Band. This gives you movement speed +3 meters. You can steal or loot Crusher by killing Crusher for this in the Goblin Camp in Act 1. Next up is the Caustic Band. You deal +2 acid damage to your foes. Deirdre's Bone Cloak sells this in the Mushroom People Colony Underdark in Act 1. So this is the merchant you should hit up like big time. Also hit up the other merchants there in the same place as well too. Here's alternative Ring of Absolute Force. Use Thunder Wave spell. If you absolute brand it, you do extra damage. So instead of 2 to 12 damage, it's 2 to 13. Sergeant Thrin in the Grimforge area in Underdark 2 Act 1 has this. Either kill or trade for it with the Boots of Speed. I recommend against doing that. Also do keep the Boots of Speed as well too. That's another good boots. The Sparks Wall cannot be electrocuted. Electric resistance increased as well too. This is in the Arcane Tower basement Underdark Act 1. Hit up the Arcane Tower for this and anything else. Let's move to melee weapons. I'll briefly explain about that. Now for weapons, I'm going to be honest about melee weapons. You really do not need any. Just look for anything that has ability to use in battle. Your weapon will be a bow, crossbow, or better yet, a hand crossbow. Thank me later on suggesting the last one. So what I'm saying here is if you get any melee weapons, just look for any that has items or, for example, resistance on it. Just equip it. Don't use it. Now I'm going to get to the best part of this gear you want by the end of Act 1, the ranged weapons. Now, this is what you're really here for early on. I am focusing on hand crossbows. If you cannot find any, then sell for a long or short bow for now. Ranged weapons, hand crossbow +1 sold by Damien, low rate, and its start changes per long rest at the Druid Grove Act 1 or Deirdre's Bone Cloak in the Mushroom People Colony in Underdark Act 1 sells this as well too. This is a great item to have, so if you have a hand crossbow, abuse it. Offhand, Firestoker. Deals an additional 1d4 slash damage to burning targets. Grimforge Underdark 2 in the dormitory room with the Hellboars in Act 1 has it. Hint is in the chest in that room. Get it. They are good. So if you get your hands on more hand crossbows, either mundane or +1, grab those ASAP because you get to attack 2 times per round and more attacks per round later on you get. And you get to do a lot more damage. They're deadly. They're broken. They're OP. So let's go ahead and talk about endgame gear. Now for endgame gear, let's go ahead and go over the headpieces. Mask of Soul Perception, gain +2 bonus to attack rolls, initiative, and perception checks. Gain Detect Thoughts just like the spell, so you get a freebie like that. Use it for long rest, etc. And then Devil Feast Shop to steal in Act 3. Steal this sucker, it's worth it. Here's alternative: Helldusk Helmet, Infernal Sight. You can see in a magical and ordinary darkness up to a range of 12 meters. Cannot be blinded. Cannot be critical hit upon. +2 saving throws against spells. Immolating Gaze. Searing and frightens a target with nothing but your Gower. You deal additional 2d8 fire damage against burning creatures in a locked room in the House of Hope in Act 3. So get it, otherwise you might miss out on it. Now for cloaks, you want the Flesh Melter Cloak. When the wearer gets hit, the attacker takes 1 to 4 acid damage. Gilded chest in the House of Healing in the Morgue. Part of it in Act 2. Get it before leaving Act 2. So remember all these that says Act 2. Get it there before you leave. Same thing in certain areas in Act 3 before you go to end game. Here's another one. Cinder Moth Cloak. Attacker takes burning damage. That's 1 to 4 fire damage per round. Elixirs in the Lower City Sewers in Act 3 drops this. You have to kill him for it. I'm sorry, but it's there. Let's move on. Let's go over chest pieces. This is a little different. Armor of Agility. Add your dexterity modifier to your armor class. Additionally, this armor does not impose disadvantage on stealth ability checks, saving throws +2. This is a great armor to have because it adds your dex mod to more of your armor class. Since we're going to have high dexterity, it's going to help out greatly for us. Sold by Gloomy Fenton at the Stormshore Armory in Act 3. Buy this ASAP. Alternatives: use your anti-scale mail from Act 1 or any other letter pieces of armor that you previously have. That was good enough for you to carry you through the rest of the game. Now, next up is the gloves. Legacy of the Masters, +2 attack and damage rolls with weapons, +1 strength saves. Damien sells this in Act 3, Lower City. Now, if Damien's alive, buy it ASAP. Very important. His alternatives: bone spike gloves, exoskeletal reinforcement. Your attacks ignore the following resistance: slashing, piercing, and blunt damage. This is actually good because you're using piercing damage. You equip these suckers. That's good. Now, the Strangler in the Lower City Sewers, the ruins area, drops this. Now for boots, you want the Disintegrating Nightwalkers. This is from Act 1. It'll carry over nicely. Now, if you don't want to use anything from Act 1, go ahead and pick these. Helldusk Boots. Cannot be moved by magical or normal means. Immune to difficult terrain. When you fail a saving throw, you use your reaction to succeed instead. Teleports you to an area. When you teleport and land, you do 2 to 16 damage in the air, which is fire damage. This is in Lord Gortash's room in Act 3. So let's see what's next for endgame gear. Now for endgame necklaces, go for this one first. Amulet of Greater Health, Constitution set to 23. That means more hit points, which is good. Advantages on Constitution saving throws, less likely to be poisoned or disease. In the archives at the House of Hope in Act 3. Now get this along with the Strength Gloves. You want this badly, just trust me. Alternative: Surgeon Subjugation Amulet. When scoring a critical hit on a humanoid, the wearer can paralyze the target for 2 turns. Really useful stuff. They're paralyzed. It's go time against them. Malice Storm drops this at the House of Healing in Act 2. Bring Shout Heart with you so this way you ensure you get this drop. Yeah, just trust me on that. Next up are the rings. Risky Ring. Gain advantage on attack rolls and disadvantage on saves. So remember the -5 on the attack rolls. That's a +5 on attack rolls now. Aja, the potion merchant, and also jewelry merchant, sells this in Act 2 in the Moonrise Towers. Get this ASAP. Next up is Killer Sweetheart. When you kill a creature, your next attack will be a critical hit. This is at the self-same trial in the Gauntlet of Shar in Act 2. Now, your doppelganger will drop this. Loot this up before getting the orb to pass the trial. Do not leave this trial without it. In Act 2, very important. Now, here's some alternatives. Ring of Regeneration. At the start of combat, you regenerate 1 to 4 hit points. Now, Roland or someone else in Act 3 sells this at the Sorcerer's Sundries, so buy ASP. There's some good stuff there. Ring of Free Action. You ignore the effects of difficult terrain, cannot be paralyzed or restrained. Aja, the same NPC for the Risky Ring, will also sell this at in Act 2 at Moonrise Towers. Clean her inventory out. Buy everything from her. Now, next up are the weapons. I'm going to be honest again. If you want to look for weapons, look for anything like clicky and stuff. You're really going to be using ranged weapons more. So just get them for stat boosters or anything else of the matter. So let's go to the ranged weapons. This is what you're looking for endgame gear. I'm going to say again, I'm focusing on hand crossbows. If you cannot get any more, then use the ones from Act 1 that's +1. Or better yet, use the longbow. That's good. That's usually a +3, or short bows as well too. Here's a nice one for the main hand, Hellfire hand crossbow. This is a +2 hand crossbow, possibly inflict burning when attacking while hiding or invisible. So if you have anything go invisible and such, this is good. Scorching ray, just like the spell. So it does 2 to 12 damage for each ray times 3. Very good stuff. It recharges on a short rest, dropped by Yurgurt in the Gauntlet Shard in Act 2. If you try to steal it from him, you could do that. You will succeed as well if you really pull this off. Offhand crossbow +2 inside a wall vault in the office of the second floor of Lady Janet's estate in Act 3. This is a good crossbow to have, so you have +2, which is nice. That's +2 in each hand. That's good. Now here's some backup. Near Misser, +1 hand crossbow, magic missile like the spell, recharge short rest, sold by Road, Moonglow, in the Moonrise Towers in Act 2. If you can't find anything else like a 7-4, sell for the other crossbows, that's +1 or so. That's it for endgame equipment. Now next up are potions, elixirs, and oils. This section will cover potions, oils, and elixirs. Now remember, elixirs, you can only have one elixir effect on at a time. You use a second, different type one. The first effect goes bye-bye. And one more thing for oils, yes, you can use oils on bows and arrows, crossbows, or even hand crossbows as well too. So let's go ahead and start with potions first. Now for potions, you always want healing potions of all types. They're a must, because if your cleric or druid runs out of spell slots, you're going to have to use those to heal yourself up. Potion of Haste, this is a great potion. Gain extra action, +2 AC, advantages on dex saving throws, and double movement speed. Now on the flip side, after 2 rounds or so, you get the exact opposite effects. Now use this against foes you want to quickly end the battle with, so this way those negative effects happen outside combat. Potion of Flying, same as the fly spell, great to have, so this way you move around, get in a position. You cannot get these, go ahead and get the vaulting potion, this way you can jump to higher places, which is nice. Let's go to elixirs. For elixirs, you want the Elixir of Vigilance, gain +5 bonus to initiative, and cannot be surprised at all. This is great, so you don't get jumped, you know what's going on, you can attack against these ambushes the same round. Elixir of the Colossus, increased size, gains strength saves, advantages, does 1d4 weapon damage. Also, you get to jump to higher places due to the fact you have bigger size. It's great to have, that's why I sometimes use it, even for ranged characters as well from time to time. Now, this is the one I use the most for this build. Elixir of Viciousness, increase your chance to land a critical hit. So, for instance, you normally has 20 for a critical hit. Drink this, now it's 19 or 20, you get a critical hit, which is very good. Last one, Elixir of Bloodlust. Upon killing your foe, you get 5 extra hit points and extra bonus action as well too, which is good. That's about it for elixirs. Let's go to oils. Now this one's Oil Accuracy. This is a coat weapon. Bonus of +2 in attack rolls. This is great to have, especially early on before you get the risky ring. You negate that attack penalty from, of course, 5 to 3. Wizardbane Oil. The target, whoever gets hit with that even range, receives a -3 penalty to spell attack rolls and spell save DC. Also disadvantages on saving throws for maintaining concentration for 2 turns. Knowing spellcaster you don't like, ping them with this, and that's it. Get your hands on any poisons if you can as well too, as a last-ditch effort, because poisons can help you through the battles. That's it for potions, elixirs, and oils. Next up is the combat demonstration of this build. Here's the deal, you're not going to have much when you start out from Act 1 to 2, even Act 2 before Act 3. Later on you start getting some good things, like for example an extra attack, to even some better arcane shots. So for now, I'm just going to demonstrate to set myself up to do Exploding Shot. If you could take out a foe in 1 hit, that's fine. If not, your second hit should usually do it. Due to the fact, thanks to the fact you can attack 2 times per round because you're a fighter. Take advantage of those fire feats, just trust me. Especially you get to level 6, you get another one, and you get to level 11, you get a second attack as well too. Now, your range attacks will be very powerful, so take advantage of that. If you have Misty Step, even if you're Get Yankee or as in item forms as well. Really take advantage of getting the high ground if you can. If you cannot get the high ground, just improvise. That's all I'm going to go ahead and say. I'm going to go ahead and take these two jokers that would attempt to do it and use the curving arrow. And there you go. We got one weekend. We'll definitely do a normal shot to destroy it. Now, if you have hand crossbows, then yeah, you get a little bit more extra attack, and they're much better. I'm going to put my main character in as the tank. I'm going to skip ahead because it'll be their turn constantly, and then I'm going to have Gale, of course, off screen, just do some ice attacks. In other words, Ice Storm. So we're almost at the end of combat. A few ice storms, a few good things. My main character is about to put the whammy on this one. There you go. We weaken enough foes. That's great. So let's see if I could definitely do anything else or hold off. Now it's going to have Lae'zel. She's going to go ahead and definitely finish them all off. So let's see if I could just blow them up. And there you go. One more hit should definitely do it. So let's try that again. And boom. So all we need to do now is just have the other ones destroy these foes. And that should definitely do that. I'm going to have Shadowheart take this one out. And there you go. And now I'm going to have Gale do his magic. Oh, he tried. So Gale's just going to go ahead and get his payback on this fool. And that should end the battle. You're A, going to be the one destroying your enemies, or B, weaken them so much that your other allies will wreck them to pieces. And that's how it's done. So for the next part, we're going to skip to Act 3. By now, you have all the tools in the tool chest. You're level maxed out. You're ready to kick some serious booty. That's good. Now you can use your arcane shots. If not, another thing is use your regular arrows too to do some serious damage. Or just regularly attack as well too. Now I just took it out one foe, and there's 4 more of those to go. So it should be 3. If you really know what you're doing, you can really seriously take out some foes just with ease. So I'm just going to go ahead and just try double up. And there you have it. If I wanted to, I probably should have did a offhand attack, but nah. I'm just going to set myself up for an easy win or so. It looks like I can't do anything else. I'll just have I think it's, let's see whose turn it is. Will's turn just to go ahead and take another one out. But the Arcane Archer did its trick, took out 2 foes that's close by. And of course, I think Will's going to take out the next one. Yeah, I was trying to cheat the system and won't allow me. I'm just going to go ahead and just end the turn here for Lae'zel for now. That'll be round 1. So by the time round 1's done, most of the foes should die horribly. Some instances, some other foes will take another round. Others will be taking a while if it's like boss fights or so, or a whole bunch of enemies. And it looks like there's another one there because I built up Will very nicely as well too. Now let me get let me get this weapon off my main character. I forgot I was switching out weapons. In other words, I was switching out those bows and arrows and such. And I'll have Shadowheart. Let's see if I can get her to into a position. There you go. Now the wargs are going to go ahead and move. That's going to be their biggest mistake ever. Yeah, you heard me right. They're going to mess up badly. I'm just looking to see if I can do anything. Okay, we'll stay there. Now they're just going to move closer, try to, let's see who they're going to try to attack. Okay, they try to attack Lae'zel, the main character. That's a big mistake. That's all right. So let me see if I can try to get up there and start taking full advantage of all this. So I'm going to go ahead and use the high ground, and let's see what I'm going to do after I have Shadowheart heal everyone. Okay, I can't heal that. Too far away, it seems. Screw it. I'm just going to go ahead and just finish the battle since I'm at a good spot. And there you go. 2 shots there. And 1 more, and that should do it. I'm going to go ahead and just do some, let's see what else I could do with that. Piercing shots. That should definitely finish that sucker off. And okay, it has Fairy Fire. 1 more shot. I think I could definitely pull this off with another one. And that should definitely do that. So I'm just going to just do a regular attack, and there you go. Here's some final advice before I do go. Now, this build with the Yard Trash can finish off 1 or 2 rounds of foes. If you're really good, like for example with the Steel Watcher or any other certain bosses, you can finish them off less than 3 rounds. Now, definitely take advantage of Arcane Arrow count. So in other words, use them much as you can. If it's tough encounters, go ahead and use them. If it's easy encounters, just use your regular shots, or better yet, your arrows that you definitely have. Definitely use your potion, oils, and elixirs. Use my item suggestion. It'll help you out greatly, and much, much more. Make sure you have any items that has like teleporting, so this way you can teleport from one spot to another. Know your foe's elemental weaknesses, so this way use those type of elemental arrows as well too. Try to get the high ground, so this way you do extra damage and kick some serious booty. Your A, going to soften your foes up greatly, or B, you're going to just straight up destroy them. Other than that, though, with this build, your range attack's going to be very deadly, and you're going to wreck everything in sight. Well, everyone, this is it for my Baldur's Gate 3 Pure Fighter Arcane Archer build video. This is Lord Fenton signing off. Thank you for watching, everyone, and have a great day or night. And before I do go, watch this fool die. And then, of course, I'll leave it to the, of course, the outro.
What path lies before me?
Please subscribe to my channel for more classic and modern Dungeons & Dragons walkthroughs, builds, guides, and more just like this. If you like what you see, then go ahead and pick my suggestion on the upper left-hand corner or YouTube suggestion on the bottom left-hand corner. I'm going to go ahead and relax in this nice chair.